The space station floated quietly in the middle of the dark universe. No engines. No lights. No voices. Only a slow, empty drift through the cold black sky. From far away, the station looked like a broken metal ship lost in time. But inside something moved. A young officer named Aaron opened his eyes. At first he did not know where he was. His head felt heavy, and the air around him was strangely cold. He tried to sit up, but his body hurt as if he had fallen from a great height. The room was shaking softly, like the station was slowly breaking apart piece by piece. Aaron looked around. The control room was destroyed. Screens were cracked. Wires hung from the ceiling like long dead vines. Sparks jumped from broken panels. The walls were covered in smoke and dust. And on one wall, half burned, half scratched, he could see one symbol. HFY Space Force. The letters were damaged but still clear enough to read. Aaron stared at them for a long moment. The symbol reminded him of who he was. It reminded him of his training, his duty, and his team. His team. Where were they? Aaron forced himself to stand. His legs shook, but he took a slow breath and stayed on his feet. He reached for the nearest control screen and pressed a few buttons. The screen flickered 3 times before turning on. A loud alarm suddenly rang through the whole station. Red lights started blinking. A robotic voice repeated, "Warning. System failure. Crew missing. Threat unknown." Aaron felt a chill in his chest. Threat unknown? Crew missing? He checked the time log. The last entry was only a few hours old. The message was short, but it froze Aaron's blood. They're coming. Humanity must not fall. The message ended there. No explanation. No name. No detail. But Aaron recognized the voice. It was Captain Lyra, his mentor, his teacher, the strongest person he knew. Aaron's throat tightened. If Captain Lyra had sent this message, then something very bad had happened. He moved through the room trying to understand what had gone wrong. There were signs of a struggle. Chairs were knocked over. A security door was bent out of shape. A helmet lay on the ground with a cracked visor. But no bodies. No crew. No blood. Nothing. It was as if everyone had vanished into thin air. Aaron reached the communication panel. Most systems were offline, but he tried to restart whatever he could. After a few moments, the radar screen blinked. A blue dot appeared near the station. Then it disappeared. Then it appeared again. A strange, shaky signal flashed on the screen. Aaron leaned closer. The signal changed again, and then formed a single word. Run. Aaron stepped back. His heart beat faster. Run from what? What was coming? Who sent the warning? He checked the radar again, but the screen went black. A sudden power drop shut down half the station. Aaron felt the floor vibrate under his feet. Something outside the station was pulling energy away, almost like the station was being drained. He quickly grabbed his small flashlight and moved into the next hallway. The long corridor was dark and silent. Only the faint echo of his footsteps followed him. Metal panels were dented. Emergency lights flickered weakly. In the distance he saw a shadow move. It was fast. Almost impossible to catch. Aaron stopped breathing for a second. Was it a person? An enemy? Or just his mind playing tricks? He swallowed hard and took a step forward. The shadow disappeared around the corner. Aaron wanted to call out, but his voice refused to come out. Fear sat heavy in his throat. He reached the end of the hallway and found the data room door half open. Inside, the computers were damaged, but one screen was still glowing dimly. Aaron walked toward it slowly, every step careful. When he touched the keyboard, the screen suddenly showed a video file with Captain Lyra's name. With shaking hands, Aaron pressed play. The video showed Captain Lyra breathing hard. Smoke was behind her. The sound of explosions echoed in the background. Her face had a small cut on her cheek. She looked straight into the camera and said, "Aaron, if you see this, something has found us. We don't know what it is. It is fast, it is silent, and it is hunting us. The team is trying to escape. If you are alive, finish the mission. Remember what HFY stands for. Humanity must not fall." The video ended suddenly. Aaron stood still, the silence in the room pressing against his ears. Now he understood one thing clearly. He was alone. The enemy was near. And his crew, maybe alive, maybe not, needed him. He took a deep breath. If Captain Lyra believed he could finish the mission, then he would. Aaron turned toward the exit door. The power was fading. Time was running out. He had to move fast before the whole station turned into a dead metal shell. Outside, something hit the station. The entire structure shook violently. Aaron grabbed the wall to keep himself from falling. Whatever was out there, it was getting closer. And Aaron knew one thing. His fight was just beginning. Aaron stood still for a moment, listening to the metal walls of the station shake around him. The sound was slow but deep, like something large was moving outside. The lights continued to flicker, and every flicker made the shadows in the hall dance like living shapes. He forced himself not to panic. Fear would not help him. Thinking would. He remembered Captain Lyra's message again. Finish the mission. Humanity must not fall. What mission? Why was it so important? And why was the crew missing? Aaron walked through the main corridor, heading toward the emergency dock where escape pods were kept. The hallway felt endless, filled with broken metal pieces and burnt marks on the floor. Each mark told a silent story of something terrible that happened before he woke up. As he passed a shattered window, he looked outside. The universe was dark. Stars looked like tiny cold needles in the sky. But far in the distance he saw his main ship, the Valor. It floated quietly near the station, not moving, not shining. The Valor was one of HFY Space Force's strongest ships, built for exploration, rescue, and defense. Seeing it like this, silent and cold, gave Aaron a strange sadness. Something bad must have happened for a ship like the Valor to go dark. Aaron reached the emergency dock. 2 of the pods were missing. One pod was broken, crushed against the wall. He looked at the control board and saw the names of the 2 used pods. Pod 3, Captain Lyra. Pod 4, Commander Juno. Aaron felt a small spark of hope. That meant the captain and commander were alive when they launched. Maybe other crew members were with them. Maybe they escaped to a nearby planet or another safe point. Aaron entered the last working pod, sat in the small seat and strapped himself in. He typed the command to unlock the doors. The pod shook gently as the system prepared for launch. Suddenly the warning alarms began again. Unknown presence detected. Evacuate immediately. Aaron's heart jumped. He looked out the small window. For a second, just 1 second, he saw a strange shape move across the station's outer wall. It was fast, quiet, and its form was unclear, almost like a shadow made of smoke. It crawled across the metal like water climbing upward. Aaron hit the launch button before he could think more. The pod shot away from the station with a loud bang. His body was pushed back into the seat by the force. Inside, everything rattled. Outside, the station grew smaller and smaller. In only a few seconds, the station was a tiny dot. Aaron breathed out slowly. He was safe for now. He set the pod on autopilot toward the Valor. The screen in front of him showed the ship getting bigger as he approached. But something felt wrong. The Valor's lights were off. Its engines were dead. Its windows were dark. A ship with no light meant no power. No power meant no life. Aaron swallowed and prepared for docking. The pod attached to the side of the ship with a metallic click. Aaron unlocked the hatch and climbed into the Valor. The inside air was colder than the station. His breath came out like a thin white cloud. He walked slowly through the entrance hall. Normally this part of the ship was full of people working, talking, laughing. Now it was silent. The walls were scratched. The floor was dirty with dust and ash. Aaron moved deeper into the ship, passing empty rooms and dark hallways. Each step echoed like he was walking through a giant metal cave. He reached the communication center. The door was half open. Aaron pushed it gently and stepped inside. There were signs of a sudden evacuation. Chairs were tipped over. Notebooks were left open. A half-eaten protein pack lay on the floor. Aaron kneeled near a table and saw something lying under it, a torn HFY Space Force badge. He picked it up and held it in his hand. It belonged to a crew member named Mira. She was young, friendly, always smiling. Aaron's stomach twisted. Where was she now? Where were any of them? He walked to the central screen and tried to activate it. After a few moments, the screen blinked and came to life. A small blinking message appeared. Log entry, unknown threat detected. Mission, find source of signal. Aaron frowned. Source of signal? He opened the mission file. It showed star map coordinates, the place the Valor was supposed to explore. The map pointed to a strange, distant system that looked empty from outside scans. But the note said, possible intelligent activity. Proceed with caution. Aaron studied the map. Then he saw something new. At the bottom of the screen in bright red letters. Crew missing after investigating signal. Captain Lyra last seen heading to unknown planet. Aaron stared quietly at the screen. Now he understood. His mission was not only to survive. It was to find his captain, find his crew, and discover what dark force was hiding in that star system. He closed his eyes for a moment, took a deep breath, and whispered to himself, I will find them. I promise. He walked toward the command deck. He had a ship. He had a mission. And he had no time to waste. Outside, the universe waited. And somewhere in the dark, something was watching. Aaron stood at the entrance of the command deck. The huge sliding doors were half open, stuck in place. He pushed them slowly and they moved with a loud metal groan. Inside, the command deck was dark and silent, like the heart of the ship had stopped beating. Screens were shattered. Chairs were bent. Hologram tables were dead. The Valor, once a proud HFY Space Force ship, looked like a ghost vessel now. Aaron stepped inside carefully. His flashlight cut through the darkness, showing little pieces of broken metal and glass shining on the floor. It felt like the Valor had witnessed a violent storm inside it, one that left no survivors. Aaron walked to the captain's chair. Captain Lyra's coat was still hanging on the back of it. He touched the fabric gently. It was cold. Too cold. He whispered to himself, "Captain, where did you go?" He turned to the communication panel. The panel had been ripped open from the inside, like someone had tried to shut it down in a hurry. Wires hung out like broken nerves. Aaron checked the backup system, hoping for a message or clue. After a few tries, the backup screen lit up. A list of crew names appeared. One by one, the screen marked them as status unknown, location unknown. Aaron felt pressure in his chest again. He had trained with these people. He had eaten with them. He had laughed with them. And now, they were all missing. He opened the last saved log. A video appeared, only audio, no picture. A voice whispered, full of fear. "We saw it, it changed shape, don't let it touch, don't let." Then the recording cut off. Aaron froze. Something changed shape? What did that mean? His mind went back to the shadow he saw on the space station wall. The way it moved. The way it didn't look normal. Was that the same thing? Was it hunting the crew? Aaron turned off the screen. He needed answers, but answers were hidden in the dark corners of the ship. He moved toward the crew quarters. The long hallway was quiet. Doors stood open. The rooms were empty. Some had personal items left behind. A bracelet, a book, a small drawing stuck on the wall. These small things made the ship feel even more lonely. Aaron entered the room of his friend, Mira. The bed was unmade. Her datapad lay on the desk. When Aaron picked up the datapad, a message popped up. "Mira, if anyone finds this, please tell Aaron I'm sorry. We tried to run. We tried to fight. But we were not fast enough." The message ended there. Aaron closed his eyes. A wave of sadness washed over him. He wasn't sure if Mira was still alive. But he hoped. He had to hope. He put the datapad in his pocket. Maybe it could help later. He walked toward the engine room next. As he approached, he heard a strange sound, a low humming noise like a whisper in metal. Aaron stopped. He listened again. The sound came from behind the engine core. The lights flickered, and a cold wind blew across the room even though there were no windows open. Aaron stepped forward slowly, flashlight ready. Then he saw it. A strange dark stain on the floor. It wasn't oil. It wasn't fuel. It looked like dark liquid metal, but alive. Aaron kneeled near it. The stain moved slightly, reacting to the light. He stepped back quickly. His breath got stuck in his chest. This wasn't normal. This wasn't human. This was something else, something dangerous. He turned away and hurried back to the command deck. He needed to check the ship's sensors. Maybe they recorded something. On the sensor logs he found a fragment, only a few seconds long. A blurry shape moving through the ship's halls. Not walking. Not floating. But sliding across the ground like a liquid shadow. Then suddenly, it changed shape. Aaron watched in shock. The shadow became tall. Then thin. Then wide. Like it was trying different forms. Then the screen went black. Aaron felt fear rise in his stomach. This creature had been inside the Valor. It had been near the crew. Maybe it was still here. He turned around quickly and looked at the darkness behind him. The silence felt too heavy. He whispered, "I have to leave this ship." He moved to the navigation controls and tried to start the engines. But the engines were dead. They wouldn't respond. Aaron hit the panel with his fist. He needed to get off the ship. He needed to find Captain Lyra. And he needed to warn HFY. He tried one more system, the shuttle bay. One small shuttle still had power. Aaron didn't think twice. He ran to the shuttle bay, passing the dark hallways quickly, feeling like something could jump out at any second. He reached the shuttle and climbed inside. The small craft hummed with weak energy. Aaron started the engine. The doors to the bay opened slowly. As the shuttle moved forward, Aaron glanced back at the Valor one last time. The ship floated in space like a cold, dead giant. But as the shuttle pulled away, Aaron saw something on the side of the Valor. A shape. A dark shape. watching him. Aaron pushed the throttle and sped away. He had a direction now. The unknown planet Captain Lyra fled to. He didn't know what waited for him there. But he knew his crew might be alive. He knew humanity was in danger. And he knew he had no choice but to continue. His journey was far from over. Aaron sat in the small shuttle, watching the stars move slowly past the window. The inside of the shuttle was quiet. Too quiet. Only the soft beeping of the navigation system kept him company. His hands shook slightly as he held the controls, but he forced himself to stay calm. He had left the Valor behind, but the memory of the dark shape on its surface stayed with him. Something had watched him leave. Something alive. Something dangerous. Aaron pushed the thought away. He had a mission now: find Captain Lyra. He opened the ship's communication panel. Most channels were dead, but one weak signal blinked slowly. It was the same signal he had seen earlier on the space station. A broken, trembling sound. Almost like someone whispering through a storm. Aaron tapped the screen. The signal became clearer. And then he heard a voice. A voice he knew very well. Captain Lyra. Aaron, if you can hear this, stay focused, do not trust shadows. The message cut for a second, filled with static. Aaron leaned closer. Lyra continued, sounding tired, like she was running out of energy. We found the source of the signal, an ancient machine. Not from our time, not from our world. It was sleeping Aaron. Sleeping for thousands of years. Aaron felt his heart beat faster. The captain's breathing grew heavier in the recording. When we touched it, it woke up. It changed into something else, something alive, something that can change shape. It attacked us. The crew is scattered. Some are hiding. Some. I don't know. Aaron swallowed hard. The shadow creature. It came from the ancient machine. Lyra's voice lowered. It learns, Aaron. Every time it touches something, it learns. It took the form of our crew. It used their voices. It used their shapes. We couldn't tell who was real. Aaron's chest tightened. This creature wasn't just dangerous. It was smart. The recording continued, weaker now. Aaron. I'm heading to the planet below. The storm world. There is a cave system there. I will try to lead the creature away from the others. This message reaches you. I'm proud of you. You must finish what we started. Humanity must not fall. Her voice broke as if she was holding back pain. Find the machine. Destroy it. That is the only way. The message ended. Aaron sat back in the chair, staring at the dark screen. His hands were cold. His breath shook. Captain Lyra was alive. Maybe injured, but alive. She needed him. The crew needed him. Humanity needed him. Aaron opened the navigation system and typed in the coordinates from the signal source. A map appeared on the screen, showing a large storm-covered planet below him. Thick clouds swirled around it like huge gray waves. Lightning flashed across the surface every few seconds. The shuttle began to shake as it entered the planet's atmosphere. Wind slammed against the shuttle. Lightning flashed too close. The whole craft rattled like it might break apart. Aaron held the controls tightly. Come on, stay together, he whispered. The storm grew stronger. Winds roared. Rain hit the metal like hard stones. Suddenly, a bright flash of lightning struck the left wing of the shuttle. The entire ship spun violently. Aaron's head hit the seat. Red lights started flashing. Alarms screamed. Warning. Engine failure. Hull damage detected. Aaron tried to straighten the shuttle, but the storm pushed it like a toy. He looked through the window and saw nothing but gray clouds and flashes of light. The shuttle dropped fast. Aaron gripped the seat. Please, not now. Another lightning strike hit the shuttle. The lights inside went black. The screen went dark. Everything went silent. Then, a loud crash shook the entire craft. Aaron was thrown forward. Metal screeched. Dust filled the air. Finally, the shuttle stopped moving. Aaron opened his eyes slowly. He felt dizzy. His arm hurt. But he was alive. He unstrapped himself and stood. The shuttle door was blocked by debris, but he used all his strength to push it open. Outside, the storm raged. Rain poured down like heavy stones. Wind pushed against him so hard it was difficult to breathe. Aaron covered his face and stepped out. He had landed in a valley filled with tall rocks and broken trees. The ground was wet and slippery. The sky above him was dark, rotating with endless storm clouds. Aaron checked his scanner. The signal from Captain Lyra was close. Very close. He wiped the rain from his face. Hang on, Captain. I'm coming. He walked forward, fighting the wind with each step. The scanner beeped again, guiding him toward a narrow path between two large rocks. Lightning flashed behind him. For a moment, the entire valley lit up, and Aaron saw something move far behind him. A shape. A shadow. Slipping across the rocks. It was here. The creature had followed him. Aaron clenched his jaw and stepped forward faster. He didn't have time to stop. He didn't have time to hide. Lyra needed him. The crew needed him. The storm roared as Aaron entered the narrow rocky path. But even with all the thunder, all the rain, all the wind, he could still hear something following him. Slow. Quiet. Changing shape in the dark. Aaron didn't look back. He kept moving. The real battle was about to begin. The storm pushed Aaron from every side as he moved through the narrow rocky path. The wind was so strong that he had to lean forward just to stay on his feet. Water poured down the cliff walls like rivers. Thunder echoed loudly in the sky above him. Aaron kept his eyes on the scanner in his hand. A blinking blue dot showed Captain Lyra's last known location. The dot was close, less than 1 kilometer. He felt a small spark of hope inside him. If he could reach her, maybe she could explain everything. Maybe they could save the crew together. But the storm was not the only danger on this planet. Behind him, somewhere in the darkness, something was following. Aaron couldn't see it clearly. He only heard small sounds, soft touches of something sliding across wet rocks, and the quiet scrape of metal on stone. Every time he stopped to listen, the sound stopped too. He knew the creature from the ancient machine was out there. Watching. Waiting. Aaron forced himself to move faster. His clothes were soaked, his boots were heavy with mud, and cold wind bit into his skin. But he kept going. Captain Lyra had survived this far, so he had to survive too. The rocky path opened into a wide valley. Lightning flashed again, lighting the valley for a second. Aaron saw broken trees lying everywhere, as if a giant storm had torn them apart. Deep cuts in the ground showed where something heavy had dragged across the soil. Smoke rose from burnt patches of earth. And in the center of the valley, footprints. Human footprints. Fresh. Aaron's heart jumped. Captain Lyra had been here. He rushed toward the footprints. The rain washed them slowly, but he could still trace their direction, toward a line of dark caves near the mountains. He followed them, stepping over sharp rocks and fallen branches. His scanner beeped again. The signal strength increased. Lyra was definitely close. Aaron whispered under his breath. Just a little more, please be alive. As he approached the caves, the storm grew quieter. The mountain walls blocked the wind, giving him a bit of calm. But the stillness made him uneasy. After hearing nothing but thunder for so long, the silence felt wrong. He stood at the mouth of the biggest cave. It was deep, black, and cold air came out of it like the breath of a sleeping beast. Aaron turned on his flashlight and stepped inside. The ground was smooth stone. Water dripped from the ceiling. The sound echoed in the cave, making everything feel larger. The cave twisted into several paths. Aaron checked the scanner again. The signal was coming from the left tunnel. He followed the narrow tunnel deeper inside. His flashlight revealed marks on the wall, scratches as if someone had tried to carve a message. He leaned closer. The scratches formed words. Not alone. Aaron felt a cold shiver run down his arms. Lyra had written this. She must have been running from the creature. He continued forward, breathing slowly, trying to stay calm. After a few minutes, he reached a wider chamber. His light shone across the walls, revealing burned metal pieces, broken equipment, and torn cloth, parts of HFY uniforms. In the corner of the chamber, something glimmered. Aaron walked toward it. It was a small recording device, cracked but still working. He picked it up and pressed play. The voice that came out was weak, shaky, frightened. Commander Juno. Captain Lyra led us here, to hide, but it found us. It changes shape, it became Mira, it became me, it spoke in my voice, we couldn't tell who was real. Aaron felt his heart tighten. Juno continued, his voice trembling. Aaron, if you find this, stay away from the shadows. It uses them. It hides in them. It listens. A loud scream echoed in the background of the recording. Then the device fell silent. Aaron closed his eyes for a second. The creature wasn't just dangerous. Could copy people. Could pretend to be them. He put the recorder down and stood up. Captain Lyra, where are you? He whispered. The scanner beeped louder. Stronger. The signal was almost right in front of him, deeper inside the cave. Aaron moved through the chamber, heading into the next tunnel. As he walked, the cave grew narrower again. The air became colder. The walls felt wet and smooth. And then he heard it. A voice. Very soft. Very faint. Echoing from somewhere ahead. Aaron. Aaron, is that you? Aaron froze. The voice was familiar. Sounded like Lyra. He stepped forward slowly. "Captain? Is that you?" he called. The voice repeated, this time weaker. "Aaron, help." Aaron felt his chest fill with hope and fear at the same time. He walked deeper into the darkness. The tunnel opened into another chamber, darker and bigger than the last. The scanner beeped loudly. Then stopped. The blue dot on the screen disappeared. Aaron lifted the flashlight and saw someone lying on the ground near the far wall. A body. He rushed forward. His heart raced. His breath trembled. Captain Lyra. But as he got closer, he saw something move behind the body. A shadow pulling away from the wall. Slowly rising. Changing shape. Aaron stopped breathing. The creature was here. It had been waiting. And now it knew exactly where he was. Aaron stood frozen as the shadow slowly separated from the cave wall. His flashlight shook in his hand. The creature rose higher and higher, changing shape like dark smoke turning into something solid. For a moment, it had no face, only a smooth black surface. Then slowly, painfully slowly, the face formed. Captain Lyra's face. Aaron's heart dropped. Her eyes, her jawline, her expression. It was all too perfect. Too real. The creature stepped forward, wearing Lyra's voice like a mask. "Aaron," it whispered. "You came for me." Aaron stepped back, breathing fast. He lifted his flashlight higher, trying to see if this was truly Lyra, or only a copy. "Stop," he said, voice trembling. "If you're the real Lyra, tell me something only she would know." The creature blinked slowly. Then it smiled. A wrong smile. A smile Lyra would never make. "Poor Aaron," it said softly. "Always hoping." Aaron felt cold fear rush through his whole body. This was not Lyra. It took another step. Its arms stretched unnaturally long, fingers sharp like blades. "Where is Captain Lyra?" Aaron demanded. The creature tilted its head. "Close," it whispered. "Very close." Aaron didn't know if it meant Lyra was alive or dead. He couldn't trust a single word. He stepped back again, but his foot struck something on the ground. He stumbled. The flashlight slipped from his hand and rolled across the stone floor. Darkness swallowed the chamber. Aaron's breath quickened. His hands searched the ground desperately. The creature moved silently, each step echoing like soft drips of water. "Aaron," it whispered again. "You choose the wrong tunnel." Aaron's hand finally touched the flashlight. He grabbed it and turned it on fast. The beam of light hit the creature directly. Its stolen face twisted into a hiss. Smoke rose from its skin. It stepped back as if the light was painful. Aaron realized something important. It feared light. He held the flashlight tight and pointed it straight at the creature. It shrieked, a terrible sound that echoed through the cave. Aaron ran. He raced through the tunnel, climbing over rocks and squeezing through narrow spaces. Behind him, he could hear the creature chasing him, scraping across stone, moving too fast for something with no bones. The flashlight flickered. "No, no, no, not now," Aaron said under his breath. He kept running until he reached a fork in the tunnels. Left or right? His scanner beeped again. Weak but still alive. The signal came from the right tunnel. He turned right without thinking. The tunnel became tighter. His shoulders brushed the cold walls. The air felt heavy like it had not been breathed for centuries. He heard another voice. This time it was clear. "Weak. Human. Aaron?" His heart almost stopped. That voice, so soft, so tired, was Captain Lyra's real voice. He followed it quickly. The tunnel opened into a small cave chamber. At the back of it, lying against a rock, was Captain Lyra. Her uniform was torn, her face covered in bruises. Her breathing was slow. But her eyes opened when she saw him. "Aaron," she whispered, relief filling her voice. "You survived." Aaron rushed to her side and knelt next to her. "Captain, I found you. I'm here now. We need to leave, now." Lyra tried to sit up, but pain forced her back down. "No, listen," she said, voice trembling. "That creature, it copies people. It used my voice to trap the others. You must not trust any voice in this cave except mine." Aaron nodded quickly. "I know. I saw it. It used your face too." Lyra closed her eyes for a moment, as if the thought hurt her more than her injuries. "Aaron, the creature is guarding something," she whispered. "Something old, something dangerous. An ancient signal is under this mountain. HFY must destroy it." Aaron felt the weight of her words. Destroying the signal might save humanity. But it might also bring the creature's full rage. Before he could answer, he heard a sound behind them. A soft drip. Then a low hiss. Aaron turned slowly. The creature stood in the entrance of the chamber. Its body twisted in anger. its false face melting into darkness. Lyra grabbed Aaron's hand and squeezed it weakly. "Don't let it take my shape again," she whispered. "Don't let it take yours." Aaron stood up, blocking the creature's path to Lyra. He held the flashlight like a weapon. The creature moved toward him. Aaron turned on the light, but this time the creature didn't step back. It pushed forward, its shadow body thickening, becoming stronger. The light was losing power. The flashlight flickered. Aaron panicked. Lyra whispered from behind him, "Aaron, whatever happens, don't let it touch you." The creature reached out its long black fingers. The flashlight flickered one last time, then went completely dark. Aaron stood in total darkness. The creature's breath, cold and sharp, touched the air in front of him. And Aaron knew. It was only inches away. Total darkness filled the cave. Aaron could not see his own hands. He could not see Captain Lyra behind him. He could not see the creature in front of him. But he could feel it. Cold air brushed against his face, slow, quiet, like something breathing just inches away. Aaron's heart pounded so hard he felt it in his throat. Then the creature whispered. Not with Lyra's voice. Not with anyone's voice. It whispered using his voice. "Aaron, don't fight. Aaron, you belong to us. Aaron, just give up." Hearing his own voice coming from the darkness made him freeze. It felt like he was sinking inside himself. Like the creature was pulling his thoughts out of his mind. Aaron clenched his fists. He would not give up. Behind him, Captain Lyra's weak voice broke through the silence. "Aaron, listen to me, you still have one light." Aaron's hand moved to his chest pocket. The HFY emergency flare, a tiny red capsule. He had forgotten he even carried it. It wasn't strong. It lasted only a few seconds. But those seconds might be enough. Aaron slowly pulled the flare out. The creature moved closer. He felt its cold fingers reaching for him. Lyra whispered sharply. "Now." Aaron twisted the flare. A burst of red light exploded through the chamber. The creature screamed, a horrible twisting sound, as the brightness burned through its shadow form. Its body shook violently, cracking like dry glass. Aaron didn't waste a second. He grabbed Lyra's arm and pulled her up. "Captain, we have to move. This way." The flare's red glow lit the cave walls, showing the path deeper into the tunnels. Aaron supported Lyra with his shoulder and ran. She struggled to walk, but she forced her legs to move. Behind them, the creature's body fractured more and more. Pieces of darkness fell like broken shards. But it didn't die. It began to change. The shadows on the floor crawled toward each other. They merged, rebuilt, and formed an even larger shape. Its new body rose from the ground like a giant made of black smoke. Aaron heard Lyra whisper. "It's adapting, it's learning." The flare flickered. They didn't have much time. Aaron pushed forward, heading toward a narrow tunnel at the far side of the chamber. A faint blue glow came from inside it, the ancient signal source. As they entered the tunnel, the ground shook. The creature slammed its massive hand against the tunnel entrance, trying to force its way in. "Go!" Aaron shouted. "I'll stop it." Lyra grabbed his arm. "No. You will die alone. And the mission will fail." She pressed a small device into his hand. It was a HFY microcharge, a powerful explosive. "You place it at the signal core," she said. "I will slow the creature." Aaron's breath caught. "Captain, you can't fight it." She gave a tired smile. "I won't fight it. I'll distract it." Aaron shook his head. "I'm not leaving you." Lyra looked him in the eyes, the same strong, commanding look she had always given him during training. "This is an order, Aaron." He swallowed hard. Tears burned in his eyes. He nodded slowly. Then he ran. The tunnel grew brighter as he got closer to the core. At the center of the chamber was a large crystal structure, glowing with ancient blue light. Strange symbols floated inside it, shifting like stars. Aaron approached it and placed the microcharge at the base. The explosive beeped softly. 30 seconds. He turned around to escape. But the creature burst into the chamber. It had broken through the tunnel. Its giant form filled the whole room. Aaron stepped back. It stared at him with hundreds of stolen faces, Lyra's, the crew's, strangers, even pieces of his own face. A chorus of voices spoke at once. "You cannot win. You cannot destroy us. You are alone. You are nothing." Aaron lifted his chin. "HFY means one thing," he said quietly. "Humanity fights back." He grabbed a sharp metal rod from the floor and plunged it into the crystal base, breaking the structure and activating the charge fully. The creature lunged. Aaron braced himself. A massive explosion of white and blue light filled the cave. The creature shrieked and dissolved into dust. The crystal shattered. The entire mountain shook. Aaron was thrown back by the shockwave. His vision blurred. His ears rang. He felt himself sinking into unconsciousness. He whispered one last thing. "Captain, please be alive." Then everything went silent. The aftermath. Aaron woke up in a bright room. A medical room. He gasped and sat up. A nurse rushed to him. "Easy, officer. You're safe. A rescue team found you outside the mountain." Aaron's eyes filled with hope. "Captain Lyra? Where is she?" The nurse stepped aside. Captain Lyra stood in the doorway. She was injured, bandaged, tired, but alive. Aaron felt tears fall down his face. She smiled softly. "You did it, Aaron. Humanity is safe. HFY, stand strong." Aaron whispered. "No, Captain. You kept me going." Lyra shook her head. "No, we kept each other going. That is what humans do." Outside the window, dawn rose over the